Something funny.
No, never.
Amazing. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah. Today I am joined by Mr. Dan Black.
Hello there, guys.
Dan just is.
Careful.
Yeah. I've never met a man who is more joyful and present and just excited by life. That's it. And you've been a really refreshing addition to the relationships in my life. You certainly remind me how easy it is to choose to have fun and be energized and be just a positive ray of sunshine.
Yeah, ball of light.
Yeah. It's beautiful, man. It's really beautiful.
Thank you. That means a lot. I always have fun seeing this with people I meet and spend a bit of time with, because after a certain bit, it starts to infect other people. And I think we were in the car, was it yesterday or the day before? And you started popping silly, stupid jokes, which I'm renowned for. You realised I've been rubbing off on you a bit.
Massively.
Yeah.
And it's very welcomed, actually. I love it. It's I think it does take a little while to warm up, but once, like, it's funny watching people like warm up to you and then like fully embrace you, because then they also embrace that like silly goofiness within themselves as well. It's,
100%. I think. Why do you think that transition takes a bit of time? What do you think it is?
I think your level of like freedom and ability to express yourself as doesn't matter how silly that's going to be, is so outside of normal that it's almost like a defense mechanism to like reject it, at least from my own experience. And it takes a little time for the system to recognize that that's not a threat.
Okay.
And then then it can be seen for the genuine play that it is, and be like, okay, I can get involved with that.
Okay, yeah. I think I was going to actually come on the same bit. Maybe people sometimes are debating if it's a performance, maybe. May or may not be the case, but
I think there's some element to it, but on some level it is a performance as well.
Good point. I'm trying to make people laugh.
So
I've succeeded.
I guess it's whether it's genuine or not. Is maybe the
Yeah. And as you say, I suppose as humans we're hardwired to familiar. And you said about away from the normal. How do you think we've managed to get to the normal of, I don't know, let's say, less fun or lower vibrations? Because there's something about the vibe of society at the moment which is a bit, come on guys, meant to be a joke.
I think there's a lot of factors.
Yeah.
Like social media being one. It's everything is now the status game is global.
Yeah. as we sit filming a podcast.
Well, exactly. The need to be a certain type of way that is deemed acceptable. What is stereotypically acceptable is often in the middle. Like, whereas the level of enthusiasm and goofiness sits on an extreme end. So but there's a lot of things. I mean, even the pressure people are put on to know exactly what it is they want and what they want to do with their lives, and you have responsibilities and relationships. I think there's a lot of different factors.
Yeah, and it's funny because we're obviously in mid-20s. I feel like any direction we look at, it's like, oh, a new possibility, because we're not that you lose that ability later in life, but it feels like everything is a possibility. So sometimes it's almost like you get overwhelmed a bit with chaos, right? Especially when uni and school is all building up to go down this one route and this funnel, and skip to 40 years and you're retired, and then you're living. But I think there's definitely a bit of a change with, and it always probably feels like this, but change with our generation in terms of trying new stuff out. Globalization's helped a ton. But even just looking at some of the stats with how long people used to spend in jobs compared to how long they spend now, maybe a couple of years.
Maybe like 10, 20.
Yeah, bonkers. Like my dad did a 25-year-old stint. I was like, fair play. And that was normal. My granddad might have done 35, something crazy. And to even think, in 20 years into the future, I'll still be chugging along, can't really conceptualize it because so much stuff can happen.
I can't even predict what's going to happen in 6 months.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you've been in Australia 2 months.
Yeah.
You were traveling for 5 months before that?
Yeah, so I did a 3-month stint from March to June in a bit of a variation of places. The original goal was to go from England and then hop across the world and make my way to Australia. Take my time. If money's not an issue, then there's no rush. And then something came up, so in June I just popped back for the English summer and had a really good time there for a couple of months. Went to Boomtown, special, near and dear to my heart, and then popped back out here in like September. So that's kind of been my year so far.
What's changed for you since traveling and seeing all of these different places and living in different environments, cultures, circumstances?
I think obviously there's a transition period, and it was really quite weird because obviously my travel across the world was framed from before my travel in terms of I went to uni, got out of uni, had a job for a year and a half, and then I always knew I didn't want to commit to, say, a grad scheme 3 years in England. It just didn't feel right. And so I said, okay, I'm going to go traveling and see how that goes. And then eventually, with the goal of going to Australia, so just thinking about that, getting here, I was like, oh, it feels like it's time to not get serious again, but I'm sure you've had it when you're on travel moments, because it's so much fun chaos. Like you're purposely throwing yourself into different environments. And that's great. You can cover a lot of breadth, but I think I knew in Australia I wanted to actually get some depth in terms of skill set, jobs, location. And I suppose it took a while for my psyche to catch up once I was actually in Australia, thinking, okay, now we're converting from fun chaos mode to actual more order and depth that can be created around that order. But honestly, it was quite refreshing because it's nice to travel. But as I said, it's just, I think after a couple of months doing it, I just thought I want some more community, and it's hard to get that when you're bouncing around. Have you? What's the longest you travelled for?
I've only travelled once. It was prior to coming here. Actually, no, that's a lie. I've travelled
Yeah,
in
hostel.
Portugal.
Yeah.
I did a stint in Portugal in summer of last year,
Mm.
and then we travelled for 2 months in Southeast Asia before coming here. Where I was sort of the opposite. I didn't actually have like the coming to Australia. I had absolutely no idea about what that was going to be like, or whether I was going to come here to really get serious.
Mhm.
It was just some adventure that I had absolutely zero idea of what was going to happen, or
Nice.
and yeah, very much for the first 5 months of being here, it was basically an adjustment period. You know, completely new surroundings, like on the other side of the world to everyone that I know, doing construction of all things.
A tradie man from Middlesbrough.
Yeah, like, and as well, it was great for putting, you know, hairs on my chest and feeling more confident in terms of, yeah, being able to use tools.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it was useful, but it definitely didn't feel like I was any closer to this idealistic version of myself or my life.
Yeah.
It's only been when, in sort of the last couple of months, where, yeah, I've found communities, and I now have friends that are very much aligned with not only who I am now, but like the vision that I have for life. And then, yeah, it's coming into this job that we both do door-to-door sales.
Yeah. Knock about that.
Yeah, then, and that's felt again incredibly aligned, because it's just almost like slamming my head against the wall.
It's wild.
Like, oh yeah, you're insecure about this. Oh, you don't want to do this. Like, it's literally revealing so many of the ways in which that I was just lacking in some way. And it's, yeah, right now life feels like incredibly purposeful.
Yeah.
But that was never the always the goal, but it was never the goal coming out here. It was literally, I had a blank canvas. It wasn't even a canvas, it was just blank.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, and I suppose we're not the only ones coming out and doing this. What do you think is actually making people feel inspired to actually come and jump on a blank canvas? Because again, I came out on my own, kind of thinking, yeah, we'll just figure it out in like a good way, because I knew I'd just figure it out. But especially the flock away from England, definitely would like to think about that.
Well, I think that staying in the place that you grew up, you are almost confined to set boundaries. Like, you know, where you grew up, who you grew up with, the ideology of those people, as well as just like the greater ideology of the country itself. And I think moving away from home, moving country, you get to really stress test whether, just because you were brought up that way, is that the way that you actually want to live. And it gives you an opportunity to try new things, to become a different version of yourself that you would never have been able to discover if you had remained in the same place with the same people in the same environment.
Yeah, I guess people often kind of forget that we're not just like an individual personality, we're a personality embedded within communities. So obviously we're hyper-social creatures. And yeah, I suppose the blank canvas is actually taking out, I don't know, the communities from your life to see what remains. Because as you said, it's like, who actually am I underneath all of this? I feel like you normally have a good feeling, but until you plop yourself in another environment, you can't actually know. People came out for whatever their reasons were, but are you getting the sense that people like where they are and they want to continue being here? Or do you reckon it's like a split of, I'll do this and then I'm off?
I think the beauty of meeting other travellers is that everyone is so full of life because they've took the leap that regardless of what they're doing, it's like they're just happy.
Yeah.
Because I feel like your perspective is broad massively coming to these top places, and you're just surrounded by so many beautiful things and beautiful people, and it's life feels so full. So everyone I meet there's always that instant connection with the idea that we could have nothing in common apart from the fact that we both made the decision to leave our lives and come and go on an adventure, whatever that looks like.
Yeah, so a certain level of camaraderie, I suppose. But it's we both made a choice, right, to be here. Maybe that's what's nice about the connections. It's not born into this way, stay this way. We've actually said, okay, going to try something else. Actually try it as well. Because you said you just booked your first year, because you're about to go into year 3?
Year 2.
You're about to go into year 2?
Yeah.
You had no idea how it was going to go, right?
Not a clue.
Yeah, and as you said, you're pretty open with it, seeing how it kind of unfolded. When, obviously after the first 5-6 months, when did you kind of begin to build a vision of, I want to spend here a bit of time and then move on, or... Obviously you're moving soon. So sad.
I don't really have an idea of what I'm going to do in the future. Like, Ellie just said, should we move? And I just trust her to, like, she's very much the adventurer. And she's the reason why we went traveling, the reason why we're in Australia. So she gets the idea that she wants to go and try the other side. I'm like, okay. Like, I'm nice and settled here. The last few months has been beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't imagine living here. Well, that's not the time for that right now. The time for what's going to be happening is to go on another adventure and begin a new chapter and see what that comes with. I don't really plan for the future, because anytime I've ever planned, it's never come to fruition. Because the idea that I know what me in 6 months, 1 year wants, like, there's so much change that happens in that time that the version of me now that has the vision is a completely different version to the me that will be in 6 to 9 months time, and the vision will have changed as well. Obviously there'll still be similar elements to it, but I don't really worry too much about the future.
Nice.
Just
it's
trust.
I suppose you're obviously doing meditation practices and all that stuff. That's as much energy and focus on the present, right?
Yeah. Well, what about you? Like, do you have an idea of what you want to do with your life?
Well, life. Well, this is a thing I've been trying to get to grips with in terms of clarity, right? Because life's always way more fun when you've got a goal or a frame to work towards, right? I think I'm here, if you will, to spread the infectious joy, hope, and positivity just to other people. Like, it warms my soul when I can see some people beginning to open up, see the glimmer in the eyes, like, life can be this fun every day, all day. And I'm still developing ideas of what that actually means to come to fruition. I think it's going to be something to do with music and community down the line. And I talked about going to Boomtown in the summer, and if you know, you know.
I don't know.
You don't know. You need to know. And I feel like I haven't been in a place like that has so much, how can I say, high, hopeful energy over such a broad amount of people, and like volume of people too. Just because I feel with globalization and growing things, big companies, let's say, as the number goes up, you lose the intimacy. And at that festival, it didn't really feel like it had lost that much compared to how big it was.
Mm.
I mean, 60,000 people, 70,000. And yeah, you don't know them all, but in terms of the readiness for people just to chat and go out their way to be nice or just be themselves, I think I definitely want to, how can I say, replicate that and then put my own spin on it.
Mm.
I've got faith that as I act out my energy and my light, that the universe will give me ways of, okay, why don't you try that? And I think maybe off the back of what you just said, not planning for the future too much, but maybe it's important to be present so you know and can pick up on that intuition, on that voice, which tells you, oh, maybe it's time to go this way or leave this thing or approach that person, right? So in terms of life goals, it's weird because it's like focus on the present, but also have an idea of where you want to go in the future. It's almost paradoxical, if you will.
My intuition is telling me right now that it feels like a different version of you is showing up right now.
Oh, okay.
A less flamboyant, energized version, and
Yeah.
more of a philosophical, stoic one.
Nice.
And yeah, I wonder where the if the Dan before the camera turned on
yeah
is a lot different to the Dan when the camera is turned on.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah. I think maybe in terms of depth of enjoyment in life can only really be as deep as how well you know yourself. I'm thinking out loud here as well.
Yeah.
But I like to spend a lot of time, and maybe not a lot of time, but when I do spend time, it's intentional and thinking about, okay, how do I think? How do I feel about myself? And I think if you show your thoughts, your brain, your mind, the respect of actually giving it some energy and time of, okay, how can we work through life a bit better? It then rewards you on the flip when you're not focusing, and you can just have a lot of fun. Like, you know me, I'm laughing wherever, popping jokes, just kind of flowing, bouncing around. And it's almost like you've got it's like a rubber band, right? You pull yourself back and see what kind of lies in the core. When you let go, you can kind of fling through and go into the world with vitality and whatever. So yeah, because I was also thinking, oh, I'm going on this podcast. It's like, and when you hear podcast, it's like, oh, all the podcasts you've ever listened to pop up. It's like, okay, what does podcast Dan even look like? Is there a possible thing like podcast Dan? And I don't know, it's a combination of, am I performing or am I just trying to be me?
Can I tell you the intention of the podcast?
Yes.
Okay. So the podcast is called Project Life.
Yeah.
Right. That's the reason why we're sat in the park right now.
Nice.
I want you to show up as you are. All of you. Not a version that you may think is acceptable or wants to be seen as wise and intelligent, because all of that's going to come out naturally anyway, just by you.
That's going crazy.
Just by you being you.
Yeah. That's interesting.
I understand though, because once when a camera gets turned on, it does trigger certain things to like you start thinking about from a third point of view instead of being in the moment, and it is a practice.
Yeah,
it's a practice and a skill.
You're a skillful man.
Well, I'm fortunate, so I obviously I did modeling for a while, so I got used to learning how to be myself in front of the camera, and I've done like stuff with like YouTube videos and a practice that's even with stories on Instagram, and it is a practice of just how can I be more and more of myself, because like authenticity is going to be the thing that's genuinely resonated with, as opposed to
100%.
anything else that you try to be. And I'm talking about the hard way.
Yeah, you've come from the trenches. Yeah, I suppose maybe my energy and flamboyant nature definitely comes out more in groups, 100%. But as you say, we're quite still at the moment in a park, and I feel like as soon as I'm moving anywhere, I mean, you've been walking around to the shops or whatever, I'm just like a little raccoon being like, okay, what should we do next? And how can we have fun? Whereas maybe the fun in this that I'm uncovering is that it's going to lie in the depth of what's actually going on beneath the surface.
Well, what I've noticed, and look, you can slap me at any point, is that when your tone becomes monotone, you seem to be engaging this a lot, and almost losing this, because every other time you're like, and then once it's like when we were pitch practicing, like you're thinking about you're doing the thing, and it's the doing the thing then becomes like calculated, but you lose the fluidity of the. And then again, there's just something to. I feel like you're the type of person who can handle like that sort of observation while we're even in the middle of it.
Exactly.
Like, I wouldn't bring it up otherwise.
And it's a good point. It's maybe because I'm using so much brain RAM, like, what do I actually think? I just kind of shut off the rest of the body. But you are right in terms of, if you're thinking, you're already not that present. But then there are some thinky topics. I suppose when I'm energetic in nature and all that stuff, maybe there's actually not much room for depth of, not much room for depth of like discussion, but definitely in like group settings, I'm almost like the class clown, right? Always scanning for ways to, how can I make this person laugh in a fun way? Maybe because the attention is normally on other people when I'm in a group, obviously, as it should. Naturally, I don't really get trapped in my own thoughts too much. I'm always kind of just there and then just scanning. And in dynamics like this, I am actually going in a bit more than I would normally. And probably just takes, well, I know for a fact it takes more like actual strain or thinking power. But I'm glad you're showing, or you're seeing this thinky thoughts, Dan. How do you, I don't know, become when you're getting more deep? Would you say it's different in a group setting, or?
Yeah, naturally it's going to be different.
Yeah.
I guess I attempt to not really see them as different. Like the friendships that I adore the most are the ones that can bounce from like really introspective, quote unquote, deep shit.
Yeah, baby.
And go straight into like, you know, like popping a joke.
Yeah, next meme.
Yeah. Just like and just having complete fluidity between both. And not really like having to, personally just not having to really like think or worry or.
There's not much friction between those states.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, definitely. It's
like really good actors, right? They can just turn on one personality and then turn on another.
Yeah.
Obviously not acting, but
everyone's acting a little bit.
Yeah,
more.
yeah. I'm acting for you, but yeah, maybe that is a source of my, how can I say, not lack of stress, but just fun. Because obviously the greater ranges of mental space that you can occupy, you can not retreat into them, but you can pick. It's like an armory, right? You can go in and think, okay, how should I approach this situation? But maybe, I think I know what you're getting at with terms of, if you see someone who's quite rigid and quite consistent in all walks of life or interactions, they're only so far away from, oh, if a couple of things go wrong, this image of me might start to get chipped away at. But when you, as you say, talk about, you can have depth in intellectual domain and then comedy in the other, you've got probably just a bigger self-image, right? To kind of fall back on. Does that make any sense?
It does. I don't know whether it is a bigger self-image or
More capable self-image?
like, I guess from what you were saying, it's like if you have, almost like different personalities that you chime into, and they are very separate. It's like having different candles that you light, whereas I'm more seeing it as a different element. It's water, and it just flows in whatever direction the moment calls for.
Okay.
And just having that fluidity to be able to hop from being a joker to being like super sincere, or just not. But that's something I work on a lot.
What, being able to?
Yeah, because especially being around people I wouldn't necessarily feel super comfortable around, and that's nothing to do with them. That's just my own like fears and insecurities being projected outwards.
Yeah.
Sort of expanding that bubble of comfortability to just be able to be myself in more settings and more with more people has been something that I've really had to work on.
So, okay, yeah. What? How did you feel 2 years ago versus now? Or are we talking like when you say you've had to work on it, Australia, or when did you actually consciously make a decision? Oh, I want to grow this ability.
I think I've been aware of it for well over a year.
Okay.
But it's only been, I would say within this last year where I've felt more comfortable and just been sort of chipping away at, there might be certain expectations to be a certain way, to dress a certain way, to talk about a certain thing, depending on who you're with. Like, there's like certain people where, it's mainly about having crack.
Yeah.
I said that
Smoking crack.
Yeah. Having a laugh. having a laugh. And then, trying to introduce, just if someone maybe asks me what I'm doing at the weekend, instead of sort of filtering the answer to what might be acceptable or I might think is acceptable, just being genuinely honest, like, or I guess just having. When did I consciously decide? I'm not sure on an exact
it's not going to be a
period.
day.
It's just been like something that I've. When that intuition comes to, I guess, be a little more vulnerable, and before I would shut that down and be like, no, you'll be thrown out.
Cast out, baby.
Just to listen to it a bit more and be like, you know what?
Yeah.
Like, what is really, and what I've found is the more I have lent into that, the more I genuinely connect with a wider range of people. Because I'm just showing up. Like that's why I feel like your energy is so infectious and like you just loved, because it's like, yeah, you just show up as you are, and that is, yeah, it's admirable. Those are the type of people you want to be around, because it gives you the
permission, almost.
Yeah, to be yourself.
Yeah. Yes. So you said that before this kind of, I don't know, revelation, that you were, how can I say, thinking you'll be cast away or cast out. I don't know. Where do you think that originally came from?
Ooh.
Yeah, deep in the field. Because obviously people have certain reasons. But
I'm actually not sure, to be honest. I'm not sure at all.
have you asked the question?
Yes, but it's not something I've probably spent too much time on. I feel like the answers to the origins of, the deepest sort of wounds will reveal themselves when my body and mind are ready. Like, I only recently just got like a flashback to potentially where like my anxiety of like something terrible is going to happen.
Okay.
It sort of like popped into my mind the other day, and I was maybe like, I don't know, anywhere between the ages of like 3 and 5, and I was in the car, and my mum just got really, really angry. I can't even remember why, but just put her foot down. It must have been like a 30-mile-an-hour road, and I felt like we were going 120. And I was like, there's a roundabout coming up, and I'm like, I'm gonna die. I am gonna die.
You're like 4 at this point.
Yeah. And then I'm thinking like, oh, why do I constantly feel like something like terrible is going to happen? And this sort of just like boom, came in my head.
No way.
I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Like, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, because your mum was opening up the glove compartment, slamming on the nuts, going crazy.
Just out in family.
Oh yeah, because I don't know. There's moments when you can think, that's why I've been acting a certain way, and I think I had that epiphany in Boomtown that I was talking about, in terms of. I feel like there's a lot of discussion on masculinity these days and what it means to be masculine, and I think it's only in this summer that I'm thinking, all of, or most of my self-help work was always around finding that, and it's, even when you're on a journey of, let's say I read my first self-help book 5 years ago. You don't really know why you're doing something until you actually dig back and think, what is it about this book or this chapter in a book or these sentences that actually appeals to me? Because it's funny, everyone can read the same book, but you'll be highlighting different stuff, right? And yeah, it's, I suppose there's 2 ways of looking at it. Yeah, go on.
You said you're finding masculinity. What have you found?
I feel like I found what masculinity actually means for me, and actually, again, I haven't even looked at what masculinity means in dictionary, I don't even know what the actual definition is, because obviously everyone's got this idea of it, but I think I found, for me, it's just being capable and having the capacity to actually do things. And I know, yeah, they're going crazy up there, aren't they? You're interrupting my flow.
They're cheering you on, man.
No, they are.
We messed with man.
But yeah, I suppose it's almost a relentless capability. So relentless, unapologetic, just to be able to do stuff and have the capacity to do things.
Capable at what?
Honestly, I was gonna say everything there, but that is so vague. Maybe when it's applied to me, being able to be relentlessly who I am, what my energy is, and naturally that's going to culminate in certain things in the world which are calling me to do. Doing those without holding anything back, I think is really key, and kind of getting so into it that it just consumes you almost. But yeah, the commitment's got to be a commitment, full. And I think I figured out over the past couple of years that maybe there are parts of my late childhood, early teenage years where I wasn't really committing all of my being to something for one reason or another. That is something I haven't figured out. But maybe the discovery lately has been, okay, committing myself fully means being vulnerable completely. And I think I'm still getting to grips on what it means to actually be vulnerable.
Yeah, what does vulnerability even mean to you?
Exactly. Like, I'm thinking, like, maybe completely letting go and releasing the illusion of control, even though it's probably an illusion anyway. But
Control over what?
control over thinking you have control of anything, which is a bit paradoxical, but
So it's life.
yes, life is weird. But in terms of just like depths of relationships and really giving myself over to someone, I've always seen myself as individualistic by nature, but recently I've been craving more community, deeper relationships, to actually discover what it means to be, because we're not meant to be individualistic as a species. And I think I built this image of myself thinking, I'll be all right on my own. We've done it so far, and I think now it's not catching up on me, but it's definitely a curiosity and an intrigue which is driving me to think, okay, there is a Daniel here that exists who can be completely vulnerable, and as a result access all of the benefits of being vulnerable.
There's so much beauty and value in being able to like fully let go around people that purely love you, and just want the best for you. Like,
100%.
even like, one, it feels great.
Yeah,
but
fucking good stuff.
but even on a personal development level, it's easy to be ignorant to the ways in which you maybe aren't showing up in the way that you want to.
100% right.
Whereas if you being able to completely open yourself up to other people and knowing that, you know, if they bring something up, that it's purely out of love and so that you can develop more, I've got a lot of beautiful people in my life, and I'm extremely grateful for all of my friends that I've had.
Mm-hmm.
But particularly in the last sort of 6 months, maybe less, like Mac and Charlotte,
Yeah.
having those two in my corner has been incredible in terms of the version of me that I've been able to become.
Mm-hmm.
Because it feels as though for the first time I've been able to be truly seen and held as well. And yeah, and it's great. And
awesome, yeah.
And I feel like we have a very similar relationship as well. There is no holding back, really.
Exactly. We got to stick together.
Ethnics unite.
Yeah. What do you mean when you say you could feel seen?
That I could bring up anything. Anything.
Yeah.
And it not be judged. It not be taken as a joke. Just be seen for what it is.
Yeah,
like
not interpreted.
Yeah. Explored. It can be felt. It's because there's a few different traits that make that possible. It's being able to actually actively listen to someone and purely be present, and then after listening, knowing how to respond to that, even whether that's saying I'm not actually sure how to respond to that, but not just sort of shutting down, being like, oh, that is too much for me. And yeah, I guess, how would I define being seen? Yeah, I guess just anything that being able to talk about and explore whatever is coming up, no matter how painful or tender that is. And there's not a lot of people that can be done with. I find that very, rare.
Yeah. Yeah. Why don't you think you had people like Mac and Charlotte back home? I think it was a different you?
Definitely.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, because I do have people in my life that I could be seen by, but we also weren't on the same sort of journey. And so there's only a certain depth that can be seen and truly held at. It's like, whereas like with us, for example, we want to grow, whatever that takes. That is just like, it's a choice, but it's also just a
conscious choice.
Yeah, and it's a pull to greatness. And you can have the best relationships ever, but if both people aren't on that same sort of level, like, there's only going to be so much you can really felt, seen, and held in that sort of friendship, because there isn't that same understanding of like, or vulnerability or need to want to go from here to here, and yeah, and that's not knocking anybody. Like, absolutely adore everybody in life, but it's just the first time I've really felt that.
Yeah, the harmony.
Yeah.
and just flowing with it.
Do you feel like you have those type of people in your life?
100%. Far and few, like in a good way, because I think as you get more, how can I say, polarized in your direction and further along the path, there's less people who are going to line up with your energy. And I feel like you don't actually need that many absolute diehards to go to war with, because you can't handle that many anyway. You don't need it. But they're there. But thinking about it now, maybe I've held a bit left in the tank or on the sideline rather than going completely all out with it.
Mm.
And it's funny because your mind's so good at tricking yourself, thinking, oh yeah, this is me, baby.
Yeah, leaving it all.
Yeah, and exactly. It's like, let's say your mind's giving you 90% of 100%. When you're in that 90%, you still feel like, oh, I'm using 100% of the 90. And it's only by slowly edging over the boundary, it's like, I've got a bit more. And I am slowly edging, which is good. And it's just a curiosity of like, oh, what is beneath the surface? Because because it happens exponentially, right? It gets quicker and quicker. But yeah, that's kind of what's framing me at the moment. What did it feel like for you to like open up and be seen? Because obviously you've got a long-term good girlfriend. What was and how was the dynamic different? I would say best friends.
Yeah, it's an interesting one because I do have like a long-term girlfriend, and I think that I guess our communication and understanding maybe develops differently to with my friends. We've all done the work individually to meet at this level, whereas our relationship has been constant growing together, and with that it takes a different sort of path where we've come from like 2 21-year-olds who didn't have a clue, and I'm very much in this sort of world, like health and wellness and like emotional awareness and things like that, and so, and not that Ellie isn't, but not to the same degree. So it's been a case of
different.
It's very different, because then it's like I spend investing all this time into learning and growing, and then I can't have the same sort of expectation of the relationship that I have with my friends, because it takes time for that seed to grow, and the skills, because it's also very different.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot more emotion involved, and like I realized just recently, like I was like, I'm not really an angry guy, but I realized that I get angry very easily with Ellie, and it's like it seems to channel all of my frustration and point it at her, and I was like, oh, that's not good. Whereas I'm not going to do that with friends. And then it's being able to communicate that, and then recognize that, and there's just a lot more that goes into the relationship as opposed to a platonic relationship.
Yeah. Maybe it's because 4 years, it's a long time, but you also, at that point, and you're living together, you're almost sharing a mind, right?
Somewhat.
Yeah.
We are. I think what makes us work so well is that we do still have very like separate lives.
Okay.
Whereas, like, I live with two couples, and their lives are very much conjoined. Whereas we have like our lives together and then our lives separately, and it's which makes it good because then when we come together, like again, we're in Australia because of her, so like she brings this sort of like adventurous, playful sort of yin, and then my yang is the like self-development, creativity, sort of growth accelerator. And then so we bring those two things together, and then it sort of ends up with some sort of mashup.
Nice.
But of course, then there's also time. There's a delayed effect of bringing those together, and then actually the adoption of like each other's traits. Just constantly.
Yeah. Just again, complementing each other, as you might say.
We're going to talk about. Speaking of relationships, what's your relationship like with door-to-door sales?
Oh, knock! Oh, yeah, this is a. It's a ride, if you will. I mean, I came to Australia thinking, I don't really want to go for construction jobs or something. I was debating. I was like, no, sales. I don't know what sales is. Have an idea, and Wolf of Wall Street tries to paint it in a certain way. I thought, okay, let's get into it. And I don't know about you when you're in the interview, but when did it properly dawn on you that you're just knocking doors? Not first day. First day was weird for me. Not sure how it was for you.
In the interview, I liked the idea. He really sold it. He really sold it, and I was.
You got sold by a salesman. Shock horror.
What a shock! First day, it was quite frustrating because I literally knocked like 3 doors on my own.
Oh wow!
Because there was a lot of just like the paperwork.
3 doors on your own.
Yeah, and I also, the only door I got shown was like already an existing customer, so they let us in the house, got us a glass of water, and I was like, how was I meant to learn anything from this? And and then I was just sort of thrown into the wild.
It does feel like that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know how it works at other companies, but definitely to a certain extent, like all learn on the job. I don't know about you, but I've somewhat struggled with, what should I do or how should I approach something? Because there's so much ownership, if you will, in terms of how do you divide your day up? How do you cycle through this area or that sort of? Have you figured that has come quite naturally to you? Have you consciously think, okay, this week we're experimenting with this or this?
Well, I think you've been really great at reviewing and being very intentional about what you're working on. I feel like I've been, especially 4 months in now, I think especially for those first like 2.5 months, I was so volatile with my emotions because it was striking the core of like my fear of inadequacy and worthiness. That was pretty all-consuming on the odd days where I wasn't doing well. And the fact is, I've had pretty steady income costs the whole time, to be honest. But mentally, it's like I'm terrible at it. I'm gonna get fired next week.
Dungeons.
It's like, what are you doing with your life? Like, I was very much in the trenches. And the thing is I knew that Like I didn't have to be there, and yet I was like, oh, I just need to keep coming back, keep trying, because I knew there was another side of the hill, but the hill felt like a mountain.
Yeah. And we needed ice picks too.
Yeah, I can see bodies left, right, and center. Like there's
every week.
Yeah, there's been about 50 people that have come and gone in that 4 months, and yeah, just knowing how it is a war. It actually is a war of your own mind.
Oh, it is. It's something.
But I'm in a place now where I've conquered a lot of demons, accepted a lot more, and now it's...
You've seen the reward?
Yeah, and the reward genuinely isn't the money.
Yeah,
It's this sense of a deepening of trust in myself to be able to do good things, and that I am capable of turning up. Yeah.
So true, because I've seen you in the dumps on a couple of days, just before the shift, just like staring into the abyss, on the verge of tears. And it's been wild for me as well, because I feel like I started off in this haze of, oh, this is so left field. I'm just gonna have fun with it and see what happens. And as I'm nearly at 2 months. As I've come along with it, it's like, okay, it's what is it that the graph of when you're young or when you're new to something, you think you're all right, and then you kind of get hit with it, and kind of in the pit, if you will. And there's been a couple moments where I've got back from work thinking, how did we get here? How? This is free will being used. I'm doing this.
I travelled to the other side of the world to what? Knock on people's doors, make no money,
break their knees and make them buy. It's baffling, but you are right. Because there's such a big, I don't know, monster that you've got to overcome, even though you're not anywhere near getting over the hill or the mountain. Like, you just know there's a treasure at the end that is so worth doing it. And as you said, the skills of just knowing that if you're down on emotions or whatnot, it'll pass. You can find ways to get out of there. And it's more importantly normal and natural, right? Like you were talking a bit about with me in terms of only acting when you felt like you wanted to act. I know it's quite recent, but are you saying you're getting better at that?
Yeah, so yesterday was a prime example. Got on turf and I was like, I can't be bothered today.
Yeah.
But I was like, alright, I'll knock 10 doors. And then if I knock 10 doors and I can't be bothered, then that's okay. At least I turned up first.
Yeah.
And then second door knocked, got a lead.
Same for me.
Yeah, I was like, alright then, I guess I'll knock a few more, and then knocked the guy who had a do not knock sign and booked him in for 2 weeks time.
Yeah, hear that? Lock this man up.
And I was like, alright then, this is clearly, like, life is showing me that if I make a commitment to just give it a go, then there is fruits to that. And then it got to maybe 5, and I went and chilled for like half an hour. But I was like great day.
Yeah, and you did.
I was like, I can. Yeah, it's been. There's not even just treasure at the end. There's treasure.
Oh yeah,
every
door. It's literally like.
There's momentum is building in one way or another.
Oh yeah,
and it's such a catalyst for growing and really seeing who you are, not the version that you think you are, but who you actually are in the real world.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, not with perfect conditions and none of that. When it's nitty gritty,
when it's you,
you're sweating.
Yeah, it's you, the environment, the task at hand. It's like, all right, can I do it? Can I do it?
And you did? And you can?
And yeah, some days, you know what? It's like, no, I can't do this. I
can't take it anymore.
Please just make it stop. But then others, you know.
It's crazy.
What has this job shown you?
How, if you water the wrong seeds in your mind, they grow quick in terms of, I don't know, negativity or getting your beliefs wrong. Because I think in the past couple years, since forever basically, I've been pretty happy, pretty vibes. And yes, it's been acute moments when I'm thinking, this is really bad. This is not, why am I doing this kind of thing? And then going back, getting the journal out and actually figuring out where stuff is coming from. I think the ability to actually get to the general cause of something is just unbelievable. And I don't think I've definitely had opportunity to do it before, but such readiness to go from all right, then into the dip, to think, okay, because first of all you have to be aware that you're in dip. Sometimes you get so in your thought, like it's almost like your brain just takes this as, this is the new norm now. It's like, a few days ago on the weekend I was vibrating high, and then I've slowly stair-stepped or fell off a cliff to low, and I'm thinking, okay, what have I begun to act on? What information have I now taken into me which isn't serving me? And how can I then rewire that? I think that's what's been probably the most useful. Just being able to regulate your emotions and be aware that, this is maybe not how I'm going to spread my light in the way I want to spread my light. And the most efficient one as well. So, yeah, what are you? Because there's a lot.
There's
so much.
It is literally just like a little microcosm for life.
It's crazy, yeah. It actually feels like a psychedelic trip. The 4 hours when I'm in the middle of it, it's like, okay, yeah, I'm doing this thing, and then after we get back, just sitting in the car park or standing chatting to the boys, like, even the recollection of, how do I feel on turf is, I don't know, it feels different.
Yeah.
It's just a completely different way of being.
I think let my attitude affect my circumstances and not my circumstances affect my attitudes. Because I can't necessarily change circumstances.
No.
But I can change my attitude, which in turn is likely to change my circumstances.
Agreed. The woofer.
Hello, doggy.
Doggy.
Yeah, there's many, man. It's as much as I'm very hot and cold, I'm so grateful for this job.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
If you do door to door, you know exactly what we're talking about. And if you don't, you should give it a go and last longer than a day.
Yeah, if you could last a week, good on you.
You're in a percentage.
You are. We are in a percentage.
We are.
That's actually crazy to think about, It's like, that's just our day job right now. And we've been doing it for like months.
Yeah.
But the amount of people that would even consider, let alone
show up.
Yeah, and then actually show up for more than 20, more than one day.
Yeah.
mental.
Yeah, I don't know. It's something about the perception of door knocking or thinking, I don't know, because I don't know how you felt in the early days in regard to self-worth and, oh, I'm better than knocking on doors, etc., etc. Did you have much of that in, like, I don't know, the first day or the trenches? Like, what? I'm not better than this. Because I think that's probably why a lot of people don't stick it, right? Or do you think it's just there's so much friction?
I think there's so much friction. I don't like what is, especially if you've come to Australia and your choice of jobs are bartending, construction, door-to-door sales. It's like, oh, I'm better than door knocking, so I'm going to go labour at a construction site. It's not exactly like a step up,
Yeah.
is it? So I think it's purely that it brings up like so much uncomfortableness that it's nah. I'm good, bro.
Yeah.
What? I'm gonna bring all that, and then I might not even make any money. Are you joking?
Yeah, it's crazy because it's broke people. Seeing them get back, like,
Well, that's it, and it's even the ones that are in it now. It's like there's people that are in it for the money,
yeah,
there's people that are in it for the value, for the learnings, for the lessons, and there's a stark difference in attitudes, I find.
Yeah, true. I don't know if I've actually thought about that yet. Go on, expand.
Well,
For our comrades.
okay, so you can obviously make good money in this job, and okay. First of all, there's a very niche category of people that A, do this job, and then B, do well in this job.
Yeah.
And you need to be motivated to either really want to make some money or really want to just get better at the skill of sales.
Yeah.
You can have both, but it's typically one of the reasons is the start.
Yeah.
Like for me coming into this job, it was the opportunity to learn how to sell. And I didn't realize everything that came with. And the money is just a byproduct of that. But then there's other people like Roland, where it is so money motivated.
Yeah.
But then that still leads to
money,
getting better as well.
And getting better, right?
But you've got to be one of those two, and you've got to be committed as well, because there's no job quite like it. And look, I've not done a lot of jobs, but from my experience, I've done quite a few different industries.
Yeah.
There's no job like it in terms of what it will put you through in order to come out of the other side.
Yeah. Because we talked about it yesterday or 2 days ago. The job is such a mirror. Every little inadequacy that you have, whether it's for me, because I'm struggling with affirmativeness or just like what it actually means, and it's kind of off the back of masculinity, like the relentlessness of this, like, because it's about kind of taking control. And maybe I'm thinking, oh, do I even have the permission or the right to take control here? But you're right in regard to, if there isn't something burning, either on the learning end or the money end, probably just going to whittle off. And obviously, your results, you said they've been pretty consistent. Would you say your mental game has slowly just been increasing? Has it been like, did you stay down a lot and then just spike up at the end? Was it just like
It was quite volatile, whereas now it feels like it's on an exponential up.
Yeah.
And a massive part of that was going to the men's retreat.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was
you didn't get paid shit after that week.
Well, yeah, I got 500 straight after, but which was, that. But no, that first week after the mental was tragic.
Yeah.
But like the going there really helped me learn to express and gain more awareness around like the emotions that I probably was pretty oblivious to before, like like shame, guilt, fear, which were the things that would really hold me back and cause me to be very volatile with my emotions. So then having an understanding at least of these things, and now being able to recognize that they were there, it gave me a chance to explore them and to really add texture, so that like going on from that point, there's not this big well of suppressed emotions anymore. It's the more I've been allowed myself to accept and release that, the less volatile I've become. Because before it was like if the threshold was crossed of like feeling a little bit of shame or a little bit of guilt, I wouldn't just be feeling the emotion in proportion to that action. I'd be feeling the emotion in proportion to all of the suppressed moments that that feelings been there. So it was like the smallest thing that crossed the threshold actually went into a deep pit of fear or guilt that was just like so overwhelming that I wouldn't know how to deal with that. And now I'm at a point where the time and the emotional bandwidth that it takes is nowhere near as much.
Yeah.
And it's
off the back of that, obviously, when you said you had your blow up, or you had your mini blow ups, like something would push you over the edge into, I don't know, let's say you've got a hidden debt, and something that pushes you over a limit means you have to pay off the whole debt. That's kind of what you're explaining. Did you know in the moment that, I've got all of these demons inside me, or was it like, I'm just in a bad mood today, and then you have that final thing which pushes you over the limit? It's like, it was that thing in the end.
No, there wouldn't really be much clarity on like why I'm feeling this way. It would just be that, like, I'm feeling very small right now. Like my self-worth, my perception of who I am, my capabilities, that was just all coming from a very insecure place, and I didn't really understand why. I just knew that it was there and it was happening, and I felt like I couldn't escape it. Whereas then afterwards it was like, see, there is these.
I'm aware.
Yeah, there's these. I understand. Okay, so I'm feeling shameful about this, or I'm feeling guilty about this, and it's it just sort of. And also, then actually, once I understood, and then I was able to express that as well. Like I put on my stories all the time. These sort of things that people would typically, shy away from, but that gives me the power to no longer let that have any weight onto me, because it's I can't feel ashamed like when I've projected it. I've shouted, look everybody, this is what I was ashamed of.
No way, yeah.
How can I be ashamed?
Because I don't do that, and it's because I don't know, I've got this image of myself of I appear this way in relation to the public or the group. Yeah, you've almost neutralized the tension, as you say. You've got nothing left to shoot me with because I've already given you all the ammunition.
I'm just here. I'm just here, baby. Take me as you will.
Amazing. But yeah, you this was maybe like a week ago or something. You were talking about you're going to Sydney next, your new evolution of Australia, and you said you weren't, super confident in your capability to figure it out. I'll paraphrase horrendously there. Forgive me. But how do you feel now after having your best week at work? And
well, I think in that moment where I said that again, it'll just be me playing into smallness. I think on the grand scheme of things, and if you truly ask me when I was like on top of the world or really feeling
Mhm.
feeling good, then like I know that I'll be fine.
Yeah.
All is well all of the time. That is like a mantra that I constantly come back to. All is well. There is
I like
nothing
that.
ever not okay, and my life has never not been great. Like it's always just been the perception that's been like everything's always worked out in the end. So if I just sit back, trust, and just allow whatever to happen, then it'll figure itself out.
Nice.
And the trajectory is up. So
To the moon, baby.
yeah, even like if you look at the S&P 500, if you zoom in small enough, you're gonna get spikes.
Yeah.
But if you zoom out, it's like that. That's how I see life.
Nice. Yeah, you got to ignore the micro movements and have faith in the fact that you're doing the right thing on the macro. That's nice, man. I'm happy, Pete.
Have you got anything you'd like to close on?
Close on. What do you think our generation is, for the most part, unaware of, which could just completely flip things on its head and really help us out?
Ooh.
Yeah. Get some of that.
Oh, I've got enough time for this question. 2 minutes. That the only person's judgment that matters is your own.
Got it here first. Coming back to you in the studio. Yeah, I really agree with that. Yeah, we've talked about, I don't know, perception and how you think about yourself. Today, there's so many different vehicles to see the small snippets of highlights of people, and people almost build their own world with what you see, mainly on a screen versus what you see face to face. But yeah, I really like that answer. So what for me?
Yeah.
For me, how much time we got? 1 minute 20. Off the back of that, kinda, but you need to do all of the work internally before the world will grant to you externally. So I think more focus on what's happening inside, if that's self-image or if it's just how you're thinking and awareness of what's happening. I think a lot of people, and just the way trends go, it's looking perhaps for just like how to do something. Whereas, I don't know, if you're thinking about why you want to do something in terms of you want to express yourself a bit more, you want to find out what's actually worth finding out about, we would do better, I think. And materialisticness doesn't help with this, and it's good to be on the health and fitness retreats involved with that, because I think people are getting more towards it. But we're having a bit of a polarity with our generation. Some people are going really good and some people are going really bad, and I think just to bring it a bit more together again would be nice. I think the way to do that is through focusing your energy inside. Oh yes, look at that.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure, Dan. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. This has been nice.